The SmackDown rating is in, and once again, it continues to disappoint for the Blue brand. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. We're almost a month now into SmackDown on the USA Network, and it hasn't been going to plan. We've seen a drop-off in the ratings. They did a 1.7 in their first week, knew it was going to go lower, and it did. Week after that, they did under 1.5. It was a 1.495, so just falling short of the 1.5 million. Last week, they bounced back up to 1.568, but no surprise to see them fall again. This week, though, just about stayed over the 1.5 million mark with a rating of 1.518 million. By my calculations, this makes this the second lowest rated SmackDown since the November show in 2016, so the presidential election night. This is obviously the second lowest rated SmackDown since then. Obviously, the one that was the lowest was the SmackDown for a few weeks ago, the one that fell under 1.5 million. So I think there's going to be the rough rating, average rating for SmackDown going forward. I think sometimes they'll do above 1.5, and I think they'll certainly sometimes do below 1.5. How low will the SmackDown rating get? I think we'll see it drop below 1.4. I think we'll definitely see a few ratings in the 1.3 million territory. Will they go into the 1.2s? I mean, they could. It probably is only a matter of time. They definitely will, I believe, during this run on the USA Network. But I'm not convinced they're going to lose a couple 100,000 overnight, because we are coming up to Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble. I think they might be able to maintain a 1.5, 1.4 during that period. But once we finish with Mania, once we get into 2025 and we get into May, we get into June, I can certainly see the rating dropping lower. And I think the rating for SmackDown will be closer to 1 million than it will be to 1.5. I can definitely see SmackDown doing a 1.2, maybe even below that. But for this week, it's a 1.518, and this was the Bad Blood go-home show. You had a triple threat ladder match for the tag team titles. I mean, normally that would be great, but when you look at the teams that were in it, it was very boring. I mean, DIY, nobody cares about. Street Profits are nowhere near the way they used to be. They're a shell of their former selves. They really are. They're doing absolutely nothing. BFAB offers nothing to the group. It's not like she's dating one of them. She's just there. It's like she's there. Like, it's the odd person out. She was only really brought in because they were feuding with Karrion Kross's group. And, I mean, ever since they stopped that feud and Bobby Lashley left, it's kind of like, well, what is the actual point? It's a waste of time. So, yeah, nothing has been happening there. And then you've got the two worst members of the Bloodline. And by worst, I don't mean they're marginally worst. I mean, they're awful. They're awful. At least Solo Sikoa's been around for a while, and Jacob Fatu's been held relatively strong in terms of his build, and he's not really lost or put anybody over yet. He's still been held strong, and he's got a unique moveset, I guess, compared to that Tama Longa Leah guy. I mean, he absolutely sucks. So, yeah, you had the dumpster match as well. You had the return of AJ Styles. You factor in all that stuff. I mean, this SmackDown probably, I'm assuming they'd be hoping for more, but it's a 1.5, just a 1.5, and I think that probably will get lower. But anyway, it's 3% down on last week's show. However, it's slightly up in the demo. Last week did a 0.45. This week did a 0.47. So, I mean, they've got an improvement in the demo, which is good news, but still not a great rating overall. We're going to SmackDown clips now, and these clips all performed horribly. I remember when something good happens, WWE will easily hit 1 million viewers. But you can tell now that there's nothing good happening. These videos are from over 3 days ago, and the highest viewed vid is the full match, the Bloodline reign supreme in a title ladder match, with 482,000 views. So not even 500,000. When Roman Reigns comes back, he's getting 2 mil. When something good happens, you're getting well over 1 mil. But, they're getting 482,000, which is pretty damn poor, if you ask me. So that was the highest placed clip. After that, it was Bayley drills Nia Jax with the Money in the Bank briefcase, 319k. The fact that that is second place, I just think shows you the lack of anything interesting happening on SmackDown. Bayley hitting Nia Jax with the Money in the Bank, and that's the second highest, feud clip. Just goes to show you nothing happening there. Third place, we have Michin leaves Chelsea Green a mess in a dumpster match, 318k, just 1,000 less. Fourth place, we have LA Knight hits a BTF on Carmelo Hayes following AJ Styles' injury, 306,000k. In fifth place, we have Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns reluctantly join forces against the Bloodline. Now, I believe this was just a replay. It was like a highlights package of how this match, came around and how these two forces united as a team. So I kind of understand why it's still low there, but you would expect better from the champion and the so-called big dog, the number one guy in WWE. So those numbers are poor. Sixth place, we have Naomi scores a huge victory over Tiffany Stratton, 230k. And then in seventh place, we have LA Knight teases a title match for Carmelo Hayes if he can beat AJ Styles. This got 183k. I mean, shouldn't they have probably uploaded the return of AJ Styles as a separate feed? I think that would have made, a bit of sense, but whatever, they didn't do that. AJ Styles has returned to SmackDown, and he's involved in the lowest feud clip of all the official clips that they uploaded. So again, not a good look for AJ Styles there. Do people just not care about AJ Styles? At this point, can you really blame them? What has he done? And I know he had 2 matches against Cody Rhodes, but I mean, whatever. Those were just throwaway matches at the end of the day. They didn't really do a good job of building them either. It's just the matches themselves were pretty good, but the feud was lackluster. There was no reason to really care. So yeah, there you go, guys. SmackDown numbers aren't exactly great. There's nothing exciting happening in the clips. There's no big moments or anything that's must-see, and the numbers reflect that. So, yeah, that's it. USA Network, not exactly going well for SmackDown, and we'll see how high they can go next week, because I believe they might be doing a taped show. I know that they're doing a European tour or something like that, so I don't know if next week's SmackDown, the following one, will be taped. Could be, it's possible. We'll have to wait and see. And if they're doing a taped SmackDown, then I imagine that the ratings will be considerably worse. So, yeah, I know next week's Raw is taped. I don't know if next week's SmackDown will be taped. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, numbers, guys, not exactly doing good. And that's it. We'll catch you in the next one. Let us know your thoughts down below. But yeah, it's just, even from the clip standpoint, man, on Raw, like, even the Liv Morgan stuff and the Terror Twins, I mean, that stuff's all getting like 600, 700,000 views. And that's normally after like less than 24 hours. All these SmackDown clips were uploaded over 3 days ago, and not one could break 500,000. I mean, the triple threat ladder match for the titles, that couldn't even break 500,000. So it just goes to show you that nobody really cares about this. But anyway, guys, that's it. Fog Wrestling. We'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.